we are going to work on the Dorian Mode 2. The Dorian mode created by the C major scale. C major scale is a very special scale. It's the mother of all scale. The Dorian comes from the second degree of the C major scale. The D Dorian mode formula half step between second and third, and half step between sixth and seventh step. It is a 7 tone or 7 note. Let it play. Display finger, display degree, display interval. Let's go back to note. I like to put it up and listen to it like 5 minutes, just back and forth to train my ear on the D Dorian cage system. Check this out. Go in the reverse. Okay. Pattern number 1 has a neighbor is partner number 2, and partner number 2 has a neighbor is partner number 1. Partner number 1 and partner number 2, they share some common notes. Look at the second fret and third fret of partner number 1. These notes are carried over to create partner number 2. They identical note, same fret. The most important note to carry over from part number 1 to create part number 2 is the roots, the D on second string, third fret. See, from part number 1 carry over to create number 2. As far as you got the roots, you walk up the step according to the Dorian formula, you'll be able to complete the pattern, or the note on part number 2. Just follow the formula. Part number 2 also have a root on 5th string, 5th fret, the D. Part number 2 start playing from the G on 6th string, 3rd fret. We walk up the step, you see the root, the D on 5th string, 5th fret. Continue walk up the step, you will reach the D, the root on 2nd string, 3rd fret. That's your main octave right there. And continue walk up this step to the higher octave until you reach the A. Let's turn the fingering on. You see the root on part number 1 on 2nd string, 3rd fret. We use a ring finger to play that root, but when we bring it over on part number 2, we use the index finger to play that. And we use the pinky to play the root on 5th string, 5th fret of pattern number 2. Okay. The black note, they belong to below octave. From root to root is your main octave. Okay. Part number 2 has a neighbor is part number 1. It also have a neighbor part number 3. Let's turn the note on. Part number 2 and part number 3, they share some common notes. Look at the 4th fret, the 5th fret, and the 6th fret of part number 2. These notes are carried over to create part number 3. They identical note, same fret number. The most important note to carry over from part number 2 to create part number 3 is the roots on 5th string, 5th fret. Part number 3 also have another root on 3rd string, 7th fret. From root to root is 1 octave, your main octave. From this root up to the C on 1st string, 8th fret, that are above octave. The black note, they belong to below octave. Let's turn the fingering on. The root you carry over from part number 2 on 5th string, 5th fret, you use a pinky. But when you bring it over to create number 3, it uses the index finger. Look at part number 3, 5th string, 5th fret. And you also have a root on 3rd string and 7th fret. It uses a pinky to play that root. Okay. Part number 3 is a neighbor part number 2. It also had neighbor part number 4. Turn the note on. Part number 3 and part number 4, they share some common notes. Look at fret 7 and 8 of part number 3. These notes are carried over to create part number 4. They are identical notes on the same fret number. The most important note to carry over from part number 3 to create part number 4 is the root on 3rd string, 7th fret of part number 3. Carry over 4. Part number 4 also have 2 other roots, one on 1st string, 10th fret, and one on 6th string, 10th fret. Let's turn the fingering on. The root on part number 3 on 3rd string, 7th fret, we use a pinky to play that root, but when it move over to part number 4 on the same string, same fret, we use the index finger to play it. Look at part number 4, 3rd string, 7th fret. And we use a pinky to play the root on 1st string, 10th fret. We also use a pinky to play the root on 6th string, 10th fret. Turn the note on. On part number 4, the root on 6th string, 10th fret, you walk up the step, you will see another root on 3rd string, 7th fret. That is the 1 octave range, the main scale. From the root on the 3rd string, 9th fret, you walk up the step, that's another octave, a higher octave or above. The black note B and C on part number 4, they belong to a lower octave. Okay. Part number 4 has neighbor is part number 3, also have a neighbor part number 5. Part number 4 and part number 5, they share some common note. Look at fret number 9 and 10 of part number 4. These notes are transferred over to create part number 5. They are identical, same note, same fret. The most important note to carry over from part number 4 to create number 5 is the root on the 6th string 10th fret or first string 10th fret. Part number 5 also have another root it on 4th string and 12th fret. Let's turn the fingering on. The two root of part number 4 on first string 10th fret and 16th 10th fret, they carry over to create number 5. With part number 4 we use a pinky to play those two roots, but on part number 5 we use the index. Look at part number 5, first string 10th fret and 6th string 10th fret, and we use a pinky to play the root on 4th string 12th fret. Turn the note on. The D, the root on 6th string 10th fret, we walk up the step, we see another root on 4th string 12th fret. That's your 1 octave right there. And then from the root D on 4th string 12th fret, we walk up the step, you see another root on 1st string 10th fret. That's an octave higher than the other octave. And from the D, the root on 1st string 10th fret, you walk up the step in F. That's another octave even higher. You practice each pattern individually, At first you have to look at the fretboard and do it slowly, but if you continue doing it every day, exercise and train yourself, sooner or later you don't need to look at the fretboard and just play because you're remembering it. Remember, between two pattern, the pattern and its neighbor, remember to share the most important thing, the roots. And the root from one pattern to the other pattern change in the fingering because it change into a different shape. For example, the root on second string 3rd fret of part number 1 use a ring finger. When it moves to the second pattern, the same root, the same string, the same fret, but it uses the index this time. Same with part number 2 and number 3. The root on 5th string 5th fret use the pinky for part number 2. When it move over to part number 3, it uses the index. Same fret number, same string number. The root from number 3 on 3rd string 7th fret, when we move to the part number 4, we use the index to play that root now. Look at part number 4, 3rd string 7th fret. The root on part number 4, 1st string 10th fret and 6th string 10th fret, when I play on part number 5, it uses the index finger to play that two roots, but on part number 4 it uses a pinky. Play slow, use your metronome, play on the beat, you alternate picking, better. Increase the tempo, play faster, do the drill again. When you get really good, you don't have to play in any sequence anymore. Just pick up part number 1, play a couple notes, put your feeling in it, bend the note, do hammer on, hammer off on the note, vibrate, sustain, skip couple note, slide over part number 2, do the same thing, play couple note, put effect on each note you're playing. Then slide over number 3, do the same thing. Couple note, slide over number 4, play a couple note, put your feeling into it, trying to create a lick. And then go to number 5, do the same thing. And then you can do it in descending. From number 5, play couple note, then slide down to number 4, play a couple note, slide down number 3, play a couple note, slide down number 2, play a couple note, slide down number 1 and play a couple note. Keep on practice and you be happy. I see you in next lesson. Here is a different view with the 6th string or low E on top, 1st string or high E at the bottom of the fretboard. I like this way because it's easy. I don't have to convert it, as when I look at the 1st string on top and 6th string on the bottom. But it's good. It helps to know both view. Okay, I'm gonna let it play forward the cage system from pattern number 1 to number 5. I put it up fast so we can enjoy and train our ear. Play reverse. Reverse are descending, The other one is forward or ascending from a 1st position to the 5th position. You can turn it into finger, degree, or interval, or note. There is 47 type of scale, 29 type of mode, 14 type of arpeggio in 12 keys. It's impossible for anyone to remember them all, but it's good to learn of it, so later you can go back and just review it and you understand. Just master one key, one type of scale or arpeggio or mode. Master the individual position, the 5 position and the cage, because scale, mode, arpeggio is the same way to learn it. It all have 5 position or 5 pattern. Practice make perfect. Be patient, and I see you in next lesson.